All right, we're here to do a review on the Wellputt system. This is the 10-foot version of the Wellputt. And so we're going to go ahead and get this thing unboxed here for you. But again, this is a great system if you're trying to work on your putting. As they say, driving's for show, putting is for dough. And you don't want to be that guy that misses your 3-foots. So what's neat about it is when it does come out of the box, it is rolled up the opposite direction. I intentionally roll it up this way so it makes it a little bit easier to roll out there. So you find yourself a good 10-foot putting space. We have it set up here in the living room. What's neat is after you get this thing rolled out, what comes included with your Wellputt system is the training book. English looks like French as far as languages go. But what's nice about it is it just gives you a little bit of an introduction to the Wellputt system. There is an accompanying app that you can download, which, you know, again, if you're an app guy, get one. But it kind of talks about, you know, the system here, the length, aiming. Of course, we've got the, you know, the aiming and the speed control. So it kind of is a combination of both, you know, alignment assistance plus distance control to give you a feel of your putter. And then what's neat is you can go through here through the book or through the app, and it has different training modes, right? You know, gives you little pointers about where to focus your eyes. What's neat about the mat, as you can see on like just this 3-foot section, is it gives you, you know, your stroke distances, you know, how far back, you know, to take your putter, your follow through. So the other thing that's really neat is there's different games, right? You have orange, blue, and black as far as courses on the Wellputt system mat. And it just gives you different ideas, right? So the first game is distance control. As you can see, the different holes represent distance control. So you kind of work on your distance control. And then, of course, going back the other direction is your aiming points to the actual hole itself. As you can see on the mat, it's got a replica hole there that's, you know, it's flat. And then something that I did that you can also get off Amazon if you want is I went ahead and bought the Basics Back to Golf ramp ring, because I like, in addition to the Wellputt system where when you aim your putts, as long as you see it, you know, go over the hole and then into the good zone, because you never want to, you know, leave your ball short. You know, that's a good way to get the feel for it. But then the other way to do it is to get your golf hole ramp. You know, so it actually, you know, so you have to put enough speed on the golf ball to get into the ring. And then what's neat about this one is you can work on your aiming and reduce the golf cup hole itself by 1 inch, right? So you have a smaller target, meaning if you're hitting your target, you know, if you're hitting the golf cup that's a smaller cup than regulation size, then you're going to most likely make, you know, your putts on the golf course. And then what's crazy, you can go 1 3/4 inch smaller than the actual golf, you know, the cup that you're shooting for on the course. And if you can consistently make this one, then, you know, this makes your putt target a lot easier when you're on the course. So it's a great idea, good concept. You don't need the ramp, right? But I've got the ramp. We'll link that for you as well. You get that off Amazon, and then you can, like I said, reduce the size of your, you know, of the golf cup, as it were, and yeah, you know, get yourself to it. So we're going to go ahead and demonstrate a couple 3-footers here with the system using the Back to Basics. You know what, we'll just, you know, we'll show what it looks like without it, because you don't necessarily need that, and then we'll show it what it looks like with it, just to kind of give you an idea. What they do recommend is that you have, you know, golf balls that are of the same make. I've got the TaylorMade TP5Xs here. You can get those off Amazon as well. But you just, you know, kind of put your golf ball. If you want to work on your stroke and your aiming, you can put it into the side here, right? And then, you know, bring your putter back and then follow through. But again, consistency, right? So get yourself a consistent setup with your golf club, your putter especially. It's all about consistency, repeating the stroke. And then, so So that was short. I came up short. So this is the bad zone. So that one doesn't count. All right, let's get our speed control right on camera here. Get everything lined up. There we go. So if it stops in the well putt, of course it went off. So that a little bit too much, but you don't want to come up short into the bad zone. So that one's a little bit too far. The other one's a little bit too short. So let's get one right in between here. There we go. So there you go, and so after just 3 putts there, we're in the cup, we're in the good zone, and then you just work, because again, you don't want to be the guy that misses your, your 3-foot putt. So highly recommend it. Grab yourself one today, and if you want to see what it looks like with this, so you know that you absolutely made the putt, which is what I enjoy. We'll go ahead and set that up as well. We'll shoot some down the middle here from 3 foot. You don't want to be that guy that misses. So here we go. Boom, right? So you just put in the reps, get better at putting. Oops, see, not enough speed, so it didn't make it quite over the ramp. So that would have been the equivalent of a bad zone putt. Here we go, one more. Right, so a little bit too much pace because it jumped in and out. So let's get one in between. Let's see if we can at least get 2. Oop, and it jumped out. But yeah, so you can see my game needs additional work. That's why I've got the mat. Looking forward to seeing how it actually progresses onto the course itself. So grab yourself the Wellputt system. They have various options, but this is again, like we said, the 10-foot, the new design, the #1 putting training concept aid. As you can see, it's got the different approved endorsements, the app that's available on both iOS and Google. So grab yourself one today.